Hey everyone, and welcome to T-Chat 36. This is Sky, and I'm so happy to be coming on today and speaking about our incredible week ahead. I'm going to be talking about some of the insights I'm getting about the dates of October 18th until about October 25th. So yes, officially, this is our transition between Libra and Scorpio season, and it is really grand and really incredible what is coming through here. Okay, major energy of blessing in disguise. Blessing in disguise is what I feel about this time so strongly. If you guys follow me on the Discord, I was talking during the new moon in Libra about how sweet and refreshing the energy was. And I'll link the Discord below if you guys haven't signed up for it yet, but it's a great community tool that we have. So the new moon in Libra came in on October 16th. I did make a video about that. And I'm hoping you guys were able to light some candles or, during this phase of the new moon and waxing moon, still keep those candles lit and be really thinking about your own soul purpose and your own, solar plexus ideas. Because that will be really rewarding for this week as well, definitely. But it's kind of really interesting how these really optimistic and intriguing and, even like fiery ideas are coming in right now as we've got Mars retrograde in Aries. We've got, Chiron retrograde in Aries among all of this like earth and air energy. So there's like this small flame, this small, area that becomes very apparent during this week. And it feels to me that we have some amount of karmic duty to really show ourselves what it is that we're wanting, how we've changed as people, and start to prepare ourselves for that transformative energy that Scorpio season always brings. Because it is a big energy of transformation this year, way more than I could have anticipated. It's different though than what I usually see with Scorpio season. But it's very remote, I would call it. There's a very remote sense of transformation. There's a very desolate sense of past status quo that comes up right at the beginning of Scorpio season. And there are like these signal points or these like very, very materialized, clear messages from source and messages from some amount of higher power, I believe, that does come in. Especially towards the end of this week, or perhaps already for some of us. We really have great road signs right now, okay, when it comes to our spiritual path, when it comes to, how we're moving forward. We have some great indicators at this time about what is good territory, what is, questionable territory, and we do really have to hone our intuitive, instinctual sense of what is good or bad in our lives at this time, because a lot of us are going to have tests regarding good and bad, regarding like good and evil. Like it is like stuff like that coming up. It's quite cinematic and it's quite officious as well, this Scorpio season. And I don't feel that this Scorpio season is something we need to be freaked out about. I don't feel that it's something that's like crazy or, really unexpected that comes through in this time. But what I do feel is that it's very empowering Scorpio energy, and it's very safe. Okay, there's a very protective, safe energy as we have Jupiter, Saturn, Pluto in Capricorn direct. The Scorpio sextile is something very protected and very concealed and held and gratified, I feel. Okay, so I can also see how some people moving into this week and into this, season can start to, try to really spice things up or start to really make things, dense as well. But it's not really a spicy Scorpio season. It's not really something that's lustful or dramatic or theatrical or histrionic in any way. It's more of like the closest thing that I can describe this energy that we're going into is more like left hand of God energy. So it's not like the energy of God or like source, but it's like something very near to that is involved in that is what Scorpio energy is with this sort of Jupiter, Saturn, Pluto conjunct in Capricorn. So thinking about that, spiritually for everybody collectively, as we move out of Libra season, which has been this very, discerning, decision-making, authorizing energy for our future. Scorpio energy, as we get to the end of this week, will come in, and it's really going to paint a very clear picture about how we keep things safe and how we keep things right in our lives. And I think that it's going to be very welcome, and I think it's going to be very helpful. I think it's a very, very helpful energy that we step into, especially if we've been feeling more positive, or like we have new, different opportunities coming up toward the end of this year. Yes, it is a very rewarding, decisive, and clear time. So something I want to talk about as well, and this I think it just needs to be said for any time in life that we, might feel like a sweet spot, or we might feel that, okay, wow, I'm coming back into contact with my purpose, or I'm, really stepping out on a limb and, trusting the universe with what feels right to me. I feel very strongly that this is not the easiest time for it. We're lucky if we're feeling that, push, and if we're feeling that support from the universe. It is always lucky to feel that way. But what I also feel is that we all have some vibrational issues to iron out right now. And whereas it is super lucky and super benevolent to encounter new soul purpose, or to start to level up and start to feel better about what we're doing, and to even with that Libra energy, the ending of Libra energy, have like very pleasurable experiences or very beautiful connections with other people. Also, as those things happen, I think that any problem areas will become also much more clear. Okay, so whereas one night you get this like really sweet spot and you get this really wonderful feeling, and then the next day you could come into contact with an extremely unwell person, because all of the different energetic nuances within are really seen now, and it has to work itself out and it has to clean itself out. So that's the main thing that I'm actually feeling about the Scorpio season. And I'll talk more about this in the Scorpio season video, which will be on YouTube probably next week sometime. That's the main thing that I'm feeling about this Scorpio season, is it clears things out and it works out knots, and it gets things status quo enough for us to be at this high, pleasurable, sweet spot energy where we are pursuing soul purpose. We just have such a great window for discovering soul purpose for this entire quarter. And we want to really then be able to implement that by the new year of 2021. So you guys can kind of see the cycle that is building up with that. It's like we've got to really work out some details. Okay, I can almost guarantee for anybody right now that there are some kind of odd loose ends, or there are some things that are like not really matching up, some clashing colors and patterns and things like that, because we've all had such vibrational volatility, for this entire year, really. Not everyone, for some it's been less than others, but if we resonate with the idea of like a vibrational volatility, or any type of, emotional volatility, energetic volatility, that's what the energy of Scorpio is like for, is dealing with volatility and dealing with, unsureness, and dealing with insecurity and trauma and the transformative states that result. So yeah, lots of nuances, definitely a time of nuances, kind of like, a fun house with like lots of mirrors and crazy lights and, nuanced visions of ourselves, seeing ourselves in different types of mirrors, seeing our shape very differently. We're really getting into that type of territory energetically, because it has been paramount all of this year to form and to materialize and to set structures. So if that's been a struggle, it does make sense that we could be quite unsure of what we have created, or what we have, brought to life. And there could even be people who might criticize what you've brought to life or what you've materialized. It does feel like a critical time, especially at this cusp, which is interesting. I think once we get further into Scorpio, that will not so much be the case, as people will start focusing more on their own selves. Critiques. People, also rudeness, or invalidation, or subtle mind games. Watch out for mind games. There are mind games about right now. If there's anything that pushes the envelope, or says like, okay, is this person kind of trying to play a mind game with me? It probably is the case. It feels very prevalent. So we definitely do have a mission right now to raise above mind games, and to be like clear and direct, and really work with intention, okay? And if somebody does play a mind game with you, okay, this isn't going to be for everybody, but I just want to say, if somebody plays a mind game with you, it's really important to see that as like a roadmap, like a road sign, like, okay, where was I when this person did this to me? What was I thinking about? What notion was I getting in? Had I just hit a sweet spot? Is this perhaps a road sign from the universe that I need to, move back more towards that sweet spot and, try some new things, instead of really focusing myself here with these people that are, being crazy. Okay. Crazy people possible right now. Very possible with Neptune and Uranus also retrograde, and trying to like go to their most like intense point of retrograde. There are like crazy people. So watch out for crazy people. Great to just keep to yourself, to keep things steady as possible, and to really keep yourself in those sweet spots and understand what created the sweet spot, what you were doing before things felt so wonderful, what you were thinking about doing, what you were embarking on, or potentially going to embark on when things felt good. Really measure that up and keep track of that, as well as what you were doing or what you were preparing to do or what you were getting into the mode of when you experienced a crazy person or you experienced something very unwell. We do have the spectrum right now. So, but it's all just for road signs, for our path. And we just have to take it all in stride. What a beautiful week to just take things in stride and to grow as a person and to keep getting stronger and to not be discouraged or disparaged by crazy people or by weird things, and to hold this new sweet spot in a type of veneration that will not do you wrong. So anyway, everyone, anything else I want to talk about for this week? Okay, yes, I will talk very quickly. We end this week, so October 24th, day after the sun goes into Scorpio. We end this week with Sun conjunct Mercury retrograde in Scorpio. They're going to conjunct right at that cusp of Scorpio and Libra pretty much. So potentially an epiphany at the end of this week.